Ever wonder what's brewing on the other side of the globe? Asia, a land brimming with mystery and wonder, often remains a hidden gem to many in the West. Tucked away in this vast continent lies the enigmatic Democratic Republic of Korea, better known as North Korea. Led by a clique of eccentric and suspicious leaders, North Korea has mastered the art of isolation, keeping its people shielded from the outside world. With spies' whispers and tales of daring escapes, we catch mere glimpses of life within its borders. Curious about the quirks that make North Korea one of a kind? From peculiar propaganda to outlandish regulations, here are the crazy things you will only see in North Korea. Number 15. Kijong-dong.
Please do not make any hand gestures to the north and do not go past the soldiers behind you to your left and right.
Ever heard of a village that's more of a stage than a bustling community? Welcome to Kijong-dong, a slice of intrigue nestled on the border of North and South Korea. Back in 1953, when the Korean Demilitarized Zone was born, this quirky little spot was meant to be a symbol of North Korea's prosperity. But hold on to your hats, because things might not be as they seem. Picture this, a village that's all glitz and glamour from afar, but lacks the heartbeat of real life. Yep, that's Kijong-dong for you. While it struts its stuff as a shining example of North Korea's economic prowess, whispers from the south suggest it's more of a ghost town than a thriving community. Sure, you might catch a glimpse of some folks sweeping the streets every now and then, but where's the hustle and bustle? It's like a movie set waiting for the director to shout, "Action! So what's the deal?" Well, rumor has it that Kijong-dong is less about showcasing North Korea's success and more about putting on a show. Word on the street is that it's a clever ploy to woo South Korean defectors and keep their neighbors on their toes. Think of it as the ultimate game of smoke and mirrors, where appearances are everything and reality takes a back seat. But hey, don't take our word for it. Take a stroll along the border and see for yourself. You might find yourself scratching your head as you peer into the seemingly empty streets of Kijong-dong. Is it a village? Is it a stage? Or is it just another piece of the propaganda puzzle? One thing's for sure, Kijong-dong is a masterclass in illusion, where what you see isn't always what you get. Number 14. Military force. Did you know that North Korea, with its modest-sized population of around 25 million people, punches well above its weight in terms of military might? Yup, according to Central Intelligence Agency data, they're ranked 51 globally in population size. But hold on to your hats because here's the kicker. Their military force boasts a whopping 1,190,000 active-duty troops. That's some serious muscle. Now let's put this into perspective. Take China, for instance, the heavyweight champ with a population over 1.3 billion and a military-sized 2.3 million soldiers. You'd think with such a massive population, their military force would be the talk of the town, right? Well, not quite. Surprisingly, only a tiny fraction, about 0.18% of China's population serves in the military. Talk about efficiency. But wait, there's more. When it comes to North Korea, it's a whole different ballgame. A staggering 4.7% of their entire population is geared up in military gear. That's like having almost 5 out of every 100 people ready to salute and defend their nation at any given moment. Now that's what you call dedication. So what's the big deal about all these numbers? Well, it's not just about who's got the most soldiers or the largest population. It's about the sheer determination and commitment of a nation to its defense. North Korea might not be topping the charts in terms of population, but when it comes to safeguarding their sovereignty, they're not messing around. Picture a nation of 25 million, standing tall with a military force that could give even the giants a run for their money. It's a David versus Goliath scenario, except this time, David's got some serious backup. In a world where size often matters, North Korea proves that it's not just about the numbers on paper. It's about the spirit, the resilience, and the unwavering resolve to defend what's theirs, no matter the odds. Number 13. One-man party. Ever heard of a one-man party? Well, in North Korea, they've taken it to the next level.
It's a big event in North Korea. Women dress in long gowns, men in suits. It's voting day.
Picture this. The land of the Kim dynasty, where elections are as real as unicorns. Yep, you heard it right, folks. Every 5 years, North Koreans get to strut their stuff to the polling stations. But hold your horses, there's a twist. Imagine this scenario. You stroll into the voting booth, all pumped up to exercise your democratic right. You glance at the ballot, heart pounding with anticipation, only to find, surprise, surprise, there's just one name staring back at you. It's like going to an ice cream parlor with only one flavor, vanilla.
The candidates, the winners, pre-decided by Kim Jong-un's government.
So what's a North Korean to do? Well, you've got two options. Either you give that Lone Ranger your seal of approval, or you rebel like a renegade. But here's the catch. Saying, nah, not my cup of tea, is akin to shouting, I defy you, from the rooftops. You see, tossing your ballot into the nope box is practically waving a red flag in front of the regime's bull. It's like telling Big Brother, I ain't buying what you're selling. But wait, there's more. It's not just a simple thumbs up or thumbs down affair. Oh no, it's a whole production. When you opt for the rebel yell, your identity gets a spotlight moment. Yep, you heard me right. They jot down your name faster than you can say, oops, I did it again. It's like signing your Declaration of Defiance. Now you might be thinking, why bother with this charade? Well, my friend, in the land where dissent is as rare as a sunny day in winter, every act of defiance is a drop in the bucket of rebellion. It's like a tiny spark in a pitch-black night, a glimmer of resistance against the iron grip of power. So next time you think your vote doesn't count, remember the folks in North Korea. They may have only one option, but they sure know how to make it count. It's a dance between compliance and rebellion, a silent protest in a world where silence reigns supreme. Number 12. Strict photography rules. Now, snapping pics ain't exactly off limits in North Korea, but it's like walking a tightrope. One wrong move and you might just end up in a pickle. Your trusty guides will be your guardian angels, giving you the green light when it's safe to whip out your camera. But hey, don't get too snap-happy just yet. When it's time to bid farewell to this secretive land, expect a little scrutiny from the Border Patrol. Yep, they'll be giving your camera a thorough once-over to make sure you didn't sneak any classified shots. And oh boy, when it comes to what's picture-worthy and what's a big fat no-no, it's a bit of a minefield.
This country is close to ordinary tourists and unlikely to see any photos from there on Instagram.
Military personnel? Nope. Steer clear of them with your lens. Construction sites? Nah, not the kind of architecture you want to frame. And whatever you do, don't even think about giving those statues of the Kims the chop. That's right. No headless or footless snapshots allowed. It's a total photo faux pas. Oh, and as for selfies? Well, let's just say they're about as welcome as a skunk at a garden party. Now, speaking of statues, get ready to be surrounded by them. North Korea's got a serious thing for immortalizing its leaders in bronze and stone. We're talking over 34,000 statues of the late Kim Il-sung alone. And if you find yourself at Pyongyang's Grand Monument on Mansu Hill, prepare to be wowed. There's a whole army of military leaders immortalized in stone, including towering 66-foot-tall bronze behemoths of Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il. Yep, these guys don't do things by halves. But hold up, before you start snapping away at these towering tributes, remember your manners. It's customary to bow in reverence when you're in the presence of the great Kims. And hey, don't forget to bring some blooms. Laying flowers at their feet is all part of the experience. Number 11. Traveler's entry in North Korea. Discovering the ins and outs of visiting North Korea might feel like diving into a bottomless pit of mystery. But wait, hold your horses. Contrary to what you might think, getting your hands on a visa isn't as challenging as deciphering ancient hieroglyphs. Imagine you're all set for an adventure, but you've got to follow a few rules. One golden ticket to entry is booking yourself on a pre-planned tour. No solo jaunts here. You'll have 2 North Korean guides as your trusty sidekicks. It's like having your very own tour guides come bodyguards. But hey, that's part of the fun, right? Now here's the scoop for all of you out there. If you're flaunting the good old red, white, and blue on your passport, there's a little extra paperwork dance you've got to do. Uncle Sam insists on doling out what's called a special validation passport from the Department of State. It's like getting a backstage pass to a top-secret show, except the show is a whole country. But hold up. Before you embark on your North Korean escapade, there's a tiny detail you might overlook. Your beloved smartphone. While you might be itching to capture every moment for the gram, North Korea has a few tricks up its sleeve. Bringing your phone along is a bit like rolling the dice at a high-stakes poker game. Sure, the rules have loosened up a bit, but there's still a chance your precious gadget might get confiscated at the border. Talk about a plot twist. But fear not, intrepid traveler. If luck is on your side and your phone manages to slip past the eagle-eyed border guards, you'll need to make a pit stop for a local SIM card. No, you can't just hit up your favorite telecom giant. You're entering a whole new realm. North Korea's telecom scene is like stepping into the Twilight Zone. It's a closed network called Koreolink, and the government keeps a close watch on who's chatting with whom.
The regime survives by repression, by complete blockade on information, with the security services and field tactics.
Number 10. Hairstyles in North Korea. Step into the vibrant world of North Korean fashion, where every strand tells a story. Ladies, the choices are endless, with a stunning array of 14 styles awaiting your selection. If you've tied the knot, opt for sophistication with shorter tresses, while single ladies can unleash their inner goddess with luxurious cascading curls. Psst! Our top pick? Number 6 channels the timeless glamour of the 1980s feathering. Now, gentlemen, let's talk hair rules. Keep those locks in check, aiming for a maximum length of 5 centimeters that's just under 2 inches. Unless you're a seasoned elder, in which case you're permitted to flaunt up to 7 centimeters, that's a dapper 3 inches of sheer elegance. But hold on a sec, where's Kim Jong-un's signature style in the mix? It seems his bold do might be too avant-garde for the masses. Yet conformity is deeply ingrained in North Korean culture. Cast your mind back to 2005 when state television aired a comprehensive 5-part series outlining the perfect socialist hairstyles. And now, with a new leader at the helm, this tradition is experiencing a revival. Now, why all the fuss over hair, you wonder? Some speculate that Kim simply isn't a fan of the old-school looks, while others suggest he's steering clear of his father's notorious pompadour. Whatever the rationale, one thing is crystal clear. In North Korea, hair isn't just about personal style. It's a reflection of societal norms and leadership preferences. This meticulous attention to hair etiquette underscores the broader significance of appearance in North Korean society. It's not merely about looking good. It's about adhering to a carefully curated image that aligns with the ideals of the state. From clothing to hairstyles, every aspect of appearance is meticulously regulated, serving as a tangible expression of loyalty and conformity. Number 9. Prison camps. Discover the dark reality lurking behind the curtain of North Korea's eccentric dictator tales. According to the Korean government, around 54,000 people are suffering in prison camps, and though some international organizations think the number could be more like 200,000. In 6 compounds, sprawling compounds, barbed wire coils and guard towers are mixed with eerie silence and beaten bodies. The word hope sounds like a dream that is unreachable. Although in the other 2 camps, a vestige of optimism glimmers as they would rehabilitate people and let them out, the others forever doom their inmates to endless suffering. Let us tell you the incredible true story of Escape from Camp 14, a heroic exploit of Shin Dong-hyuk when he was the only one who managed to leave those dreadful prisons and tasted the thrill of being born into captivity. Shin's lineage ties him to the grim fate of the camps, his father's imprisonment stemming from his brother's daring escape to the south many moons ago. Within these desolate compounds, agony manifests in myriad forms: torture, starvation, forced labor, and executions of a chilling part of a public spectacle. By virtue of the satellite imagery, it is possible to just take a peek into this depth where the greatest sufferings prevail. According to a damning Amnesty International report in 2011, a staggering 40% of camp detainees succumb to the cruel embrace of malnutrition. Yet amidst the bleakness, Shin's tale stands as a beacon of defiance, a testament to the human spirit's indomitable will to break free from the chains of oppression. His daring escape serves as a reminder that even in the darkest corners, hope can still flourish, and courage can carve pathways to freedom. As we marvel at the audacity of Shin's flight to liberty, let us not forget the countless others ensnared in the grip of tyranny. Their stories, though shrouded in silence, demand to be heard. Together, let us shine a light on the shadows, standing as beacons of solidarity against injustice and tyranny. Number 8. Black markets. Picture this: North Korea, a country that is shrouded in mystery, where communism was once dominant. But guess what? The government is messing up everything, while the capitalist spirit is like ninjas sneaking in. Well, you got it right. Black markets are on the rise, and the gloomy scene has got some clever merchants who are like the modern-day Robin Hoods, making all kinds of stuff appear from the opposite side of the border in China. Oh, and that's only the start, folks. Risky traders defy customs and break the law by smuggling South Korean DVDs faster than you know those action-packed thrillers. How? The counterattack to the propaganda from the Kim regime that their people should believe that life in the South is no better than a bad hair day. But these DVDs, they're like truth bombs, showing folks what life is really like beyond their borders. Now get this, even the government's own rules are getting twisted like spaghetti noodles. Here, having a car is like winning a jackpot in North Korea. Only military officials and big shots can carry around in a vehicle. But here's the twist. Some shrewd elites found a way around the system. They began to lease out their vehicles for money, and soon, they had their own underground taxi firms operating illegally. So why did this happen? Well, you have to picture out what it's like if each of your steps is closely watched. That is North Korea in context. Travel restrictions are tightened to the level where freedom of movement is no different from being trapped in skinny jeans. But thanks to these makeshift taxi fleets, people are finding ways to slip through the cracks, whether it's for a quick grocery run or a daring escape. In a nutshell, North Korea might paint itself as the land of the red flag, but underneath it all, shades of capitalism are shining through. From bustling black markets to Hollywood hits smuggled in on DVD, it's a country where rules are made to be broken and where a little rebellion can go a long way. Number 7. New Year in North Korea. Ever wondered how North Korea kicks off its New Year festivities? Well, hold on to your hats because we're about to take you on a whirlwind tour of Celebration Central. Picture this: not 1, not 2, but 3 epic New Year bashes. Yup, you heard it right. North Korea goes all out, celebrating not just once but thrice. They've got the Gregorian New Year, the Lunar New Year, and the one-of-a-kind Juche New Year. Now what's this Juche New Year all about, you ask? Buckle up because it's a wild ride. You see, North Korea marches to the beat of its own drum with the Juche calendar, kick-starting from the birth of its founding father, Kim Il-sung. Let the showing start from the top. April 15th is the anniversary of the Day of the Sun every year, counting another year on the Juche calendar. This year is no different. They're energized for the Juche 112 years. Yes, folks, that's right, you heard me exactly. 112 years of celebrations and counting. But wait a second, the party's not over yet. Oh no, North Korea can pick an event, make it fashionable, and liven up the joint. Just imagine, students and youth bursting with energy all over the place, living it up at dancing events, adoring their ruler for the first time ever. It's not something to be missed, it's a show. Now let's discuss tradition. When it comes to the elders, they do not only have the greatest respect, but they also become respected figures at these ceremonies. The families see each other only once a year, and that once can be New Year's Eve, and there's an event for anyone wishing to have a good time without deprivation. Of course, they can't wait to indulge themselves in the deliciously looking and sounding traditional dish, songpyeon. However, hundreds of thousands come to the Kumsusan Palace of the Sun, showing their respect to the late outstanding figures of Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il. It's a moment of solemn vibe and contemplation that reminds the people of those who were the leaders of the nation that is loved by them. As the sun goes down again, the city lights up with stunning colors and contagious energy. Residents dressed in traditional clothes can be found in the streets, having a dance in rhythm with the power of North Korea's cultural legacy. It's a beauty to witness, a party nothing like the rest. Number 6. Traffic police. Meet the fabulous traffic divas of North Korea. Yes, you read it right. Traffic policing isn't just a job here, it's a glamorously coveted spot, reserved for the most dazzling dames in town. Picture this. In the bustling streets of Pyongyang, these stunning sirens in uniform gracefully guide the flow of traffic, catching the eye of passers-by and drivers alike. And it's not just about managing the hustle and bustle, it's about doing it with flair and finesse. To snag this prestigious gig, you've got to tick all the boxes: tall, gorgeous, and of course, female. These traffic mavens are the epitome of elegance, embodying the spirit of the capital like no other. But hold your breath, because they're not just confined to Pyongyang. You can spot them owning the streets in other cities across North Korea too. But wait, there's more. These traffic angels aren't just about directing cars. They're also known for their impeccable salute, a gesture that commands respect from military and government bigwigs cruising by. Their allure doesn't stop at the streets. Oh no, it's a full-blown obsession. There's a whole website dedicated to these darlings, featuring the Pyongyang Traffic Girl of the Month, complete with a fan-favorite game and a forum where admirers pour out their hearts in messages and poetry. And the love doesn't end there. These goddesses of the road are plastered all over propaganda materials, from stamps to billboards, and there are even traffic girl dolls for the kiddos to idolize. Talk about taking fame to a whole new level. In a twist fit for a blockbuster movie, one of these traffic darlings, Ri Kyung-sim, became a national hero, bagging the prestigious Hero of the Republic title for her outstanding contribution to traffic safety. Rumor has it that she even saved the Supreme Leader's life during an assassination attempt. Talk about being a real-life superhero. Her moment of glory was broadcasted for the nation to see, solidifying her status as a bona fide icon. Now, she's got her own fan page on the Pyongyang Traffic Girls website, where admirers can shower her with love and adoration. Now, it's time for today's subscriber pick. Among other disparities the North Korean public faces on a day-to-day basis, one is their access to hygienic and well-built toilets. Hyun-seung Lee, who hails from an elite North Korean family and defected back in 2014, spoke to a news outlet about the prevalence of squat versus flush toilets, what people use instead of toilet paper, and the acceptability of public urination. In both urban and rural North Korea, the traditional squat toilet remains the preferred venue to conduct business. There are only a few sitting toilets in Pyongyang and other major cities, and they are largely in modern buildings. You might even see that North Korea has its own toilet hierarchy. Movers and shakers, including those involved in domestic and international trade, party cadres and secret police, have their flats remodeled to incorporate creature amenities such as sitting toilets. There is a significant disadvantage to using a sitting toilet in North Korea: a shortage of water. With the country's electricity constraints,
North Korea, the reclusive state, has been suffering from a chronic shortage of electricity for years.
it is usual to have only 2 to 3 hours of flowing water every day. This implies that toilet tanks are seldom replenished automatically. Owners must manually replenish the water, either using a hose or with water from a home storage tank. Because of these hassles, many North Koreans who use seated toilets choose to pour water straight into the bowl after each use. But the water won't flush down without a specific amount of pressure, necessitating numerous pours. This makes sitting toilets less useful and more of a status symbol. There are few locations to buy toilet flappers and flush valves for seated toilets. Even North Koreans with means choose to use squat toilets. In regional cities, the great majority of people use squat toilets and can only dream of sitting down to defecate. And the land still resembles medieval Korea. Consider an outhouse made of wooden planks, with rice straw or dried leaves instead of toilet paper. Toilet paper is accessible, and while it is not considered a luxury commodity, it is generally limited to North Korean elites and the middle class. Families with money will purchase quality toilet paper for their homes, whilst the less fortunate would use old copies of the Rodong Sinmun, with photos of the leader removed, pages from notebooks, or just wash with water. He frequently observed toilets outfitted with such homemade toilet paper. Newspapers and other printed materials have been shredded into palm-sized bits and put neatly by the toilet. This was the standard in hotels, public buildings, restaurants, and businesses. Previously, rich Pyongyang residents purchased toilet paper from Japan for personal use. However, once ties with Japan deteriorated and slowed commerce, they began importing and using Chinese toilet paper instead. North Korea makes toilet paper, although the volume is limited owing to material limitations. Toilet paper is often given or sold only to the governing party and Pyongyang. North Korean products are often dark brown or dark gray in color, with an uneven and rough surface due to a shortage of bleach and other ingredients required to whiten the paper. Lee also revealed that North Korean public toilets are few and far between to begin with, but those that do exist are badly kept and absolutely nasty. The DPRK claims to be a society that places the people at the center, but in truth, the government doesn't care enough about its people's comfort to arrange for more and better public toilets or other infrastructure. Number 5. Ban on K-pop. Check out this spicy scoop. North Korea's big cheese, Kim Jong-un, has thrown down the gauntlet on K-pop, slamming it as a total no-go in his neck of the woods. This musical marvel from South Korea? Well, according to Kim, it's nothing but trouble, a toxic cocktail corrupting the minds of the young like a nasty case of the flu. Word on the street is that Kim Jong-un isn't playing games. He's cranked up the heat, slapping anyone caught grooving to K-pop with a whopping 15 years behind bars. And get this, he's even got citizens on the lookout, hoping they'll squeal on their neighbors blasting those beats. But hold on to your hats, it gets worse. Singing along to your favorite K-pop tune or even scribbling down some lyrics could land you in the slammer for 2 years of hard labor. And if you're caught smuggling in those catchy tunes, well, that could be lights out death penalty style. Now, the North Korean government's got some choice words about K-pop too, painting a grim picture of exploitation. They're pointing fingers at South Korea, accusing them of chaining up their artists from the get-go, treating them like puppets on a string until they're nothing but shells of their former selves. According to a news channel, they're laying the blame for depression and even suicide at the feet of the K-pop industry. And let's not forget the heart-wrenching tale of Jong Hyun, a shining star from the group SHINee, whose light was snuffed out in 2017. It's a tragedy that rocked the K-pop world and serves as a stark reminder of the dark side lurking beneath the glitter and glam. Number 4. North Korea's own timing. In a move that's as unique as a unicorn in a sea of horses, North Korea marched to the beat of its own clock on August 15, 2015. Picture this. While the rest of the world was syncing watches, North Korea decided to press pause on Greenwich time and created its very own time zone, a whole 30 minutes apart from the global standard. Talk about setting your own trend. So, what's the deal with this time twist? Well, turns out that Pyongyang and the rest of North Korea were like, we're doing our own thing, long before hashtags and memes were a thing. They were rocking green, which means time at +8, even before smartphones ruled the world. Word on the street is that this unique time zone was what they were vibing with before the Japanese came knocking during the 20th century. Fast forward to April 2018, and Kim Jong-un, the head honcho of North Korea, decided it was time for a change, literally. He hit the reset button and synced North Korea's clocks with South Korea's at Greenwich Mean Time +9. It was like saying, hey neighbor, let's sync our playlists and dance to the same beat. This move wasn't just about adjusting clock hands, it was a bold step toward bringing both nations closer together like besties sharing secrets. Come May 4, 2018, it was official. North Korea had jumped into the same time zone pool as South Korea. It was a small step for clocks, but a giant leap for Korean unity. Who knew time could be such a powerful tool for bringing people together? So, here's to North Korea, setting its own tempo and dancing to the rhythm of unity. Number 3. Children in North Korea. In North Korea, the school scene is unlike any other. While kids around the globe typically pack their bags with personal items for school, North Korean students take it up a notch. Picture this. Instead of just bringing notebooks and pencils, they haul in their very own chairs and desks. And that's not all. They foot the bill for their classroom heating too. But wait, there's more. These young scholars even roll up their sleeves to the fields for the government. Now, you might wonder why all this fuss. Well, it turns out that some parents are hesitant to send their little ones to these schools of surprises. Can you blame them? They've got to grease the wheels with some extra cash just to keep the kiddos at home. That's right. Bribing the teachers becomes part of the parenting playbook. So, while kids elsewhere might be complaining about homework or sneaking glances at the clock, North Korean youngsters are juggling a whole different set of responsibilities. They're not just hitting the books, they're providing the very infrastructure of their learning environment. It's like a do-it-yourself school kid on steroids. But hey, amidst all the challenges, there's a lesson to be learned. These pint-sized providers are gaining a hands-on education like no other. From managing their own resources to pitching in for the greater good, they're learning life skills that go beyond the classroom walls. Number 2. Informants in North Korea. Did you know? In North Korea, you can't sneeze without someone knowing. Yep, informants are like the ultimate spies, scattered all over the place. It's like a giant game of hide-and-seek, except instead of seeking fun, they're seeking out folks who step out of line. Picture this. You're just minding your own business, and bam! There's someone watching your every move, ready to rat you out for the smallest slip-up. Now hold on to your hats, because here's the kicker. These informants aren't just chilling on the sidelines. Oh no, they're on the front lines, reporting any hint of rule-breaking straight to the big shots in the government. Whether you're binge-watching some forbidden television shows or rocking a haircut that's a tad too trendy for the regime's liking, these informants are onto you like white on rice. And let's talk about consequences, shall we? It's not just a slap on the wrist for breaking the rules in North Korea. Oh no siree. Depending on your crime, you could be facing anything from being banned from catching your favorite soap opera to getting in serious trouble for something as seemingly innocent as a haircut choice. It's like living in a real-life game of Simon Says, except instead of following simple commands, you're dodging the watchful eyes of informants at every turn. Number 1. Internet. In the realm of North Korea, inhabitants find themselves adrift in a universe of limited knowledge about the wider world. Imagine this. Their television sets flicker with a handful of channels, but hold your popcorn, because the programming is all homegrown, hand-picked by the powers that be. Yes, indeed, it's as if Big Brother holds the remote control, dictating what beams into their living rooms. Now let's venture into the cyber expanse. While there exists an internet, it resembles a hidden garden surrounded by towering walls. North Koreans can't simply Google their way to global enlightenment. To catch a glimpse beyond their borders, they must adopt the stealth of ninjas, smuggling morsels of information like contraband. Contemplate this. As you leisurely scroll through tweets and TikToks, they remain ensconced in darkness, deprived of updates on the world stage. Their information diet consists solely of the daily serving of propaganda, laced with a side of suspicion. Thus, the next time you grumble about your Wi-Fi acting up or struggle to find anything worth watching on television, take a moment to cherish the freedom to navigate the vast seas of information. For our compatriots up north, it's as if they're trapped in a time warp, bereft of a passport to the present. Let's keep them in our thoughts as we click, swipe, and scroll through the digital cosmos, for in their restricted reality, the quest for knowledge is a clandestine endeavor fraught with peril. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.